The courtroom is quiet. Judge Frank Caprio sits at his bench. His reading glasses rest on his nose. He opens a manila folder. Case number 2025, TR 88429. It's a simple parking ticket. Or so he thinks. Please call the next case, Judge Caprio says. The bailiff stands. His voice echoes through the room. Case 2025, TR 88429. The City of Providence versus Sofia Ramirez. The doors at the back open. A girl walks in. She's tiny, maybe 5 feet tall. Her dark hair is pulled back in a ponytail. She wears a faded blue hoodie. The sleeves are too long. They cover her hands. Her jeans have a hole in one knee. Not the fashionable kind. The worn-out kind. She's 14 years old. Sofia walks to the front. Her steps are small. Nervous. She carries a folder. It's stuffed with papers. Some of them stick out at odd angles. Her hands shake a little. Judge Caprio looks up. His expression changes. Surprise flashes across his face. This is a child. A child in his courtroom over a parking ticket. Miss Ramirez, he says gently. Yes, sir. Her voice is barely a whisper. How old are you, young lady? 14, sir. The judge leans back in his chair. He removes his glasses. 14. And you're here alone? Yes, sir. Where are your parents? Sofia's face tightens. She looks down. My mom, she's in the hospital, sir. And my dad, he's not around. The courtroom is so quiet you could hear a pin drop. People lean forward. What's happening here? Why is a kid standing in court alone? If you believe that justice should look at the whole story, not just the facts on paper, you'll want to see what Judge Caprio does next. Because what he's about to discover will break your heart and restore your faith in humanity at the same time. Judge Caprio sets down his glasses. He folds his hands. Tell me about this parking ticket, Sofia. Sofia opens her folder. Papers spill out. She catches them. Her hands are still shaking. I got a ticket. 3 tickets, actually. All from the same spot. Outside Rhode Island Hospital. On Eddy Street. The prosecutor stands. He's a thin man with a briefcase. His suit is gray. Your Honor, the defendant received 3 parking violations over a 2-month period, all in a no-parking zone. The fines total $275. $275. Judge Caprio watches Sofia's face. She bites her lip. Her eyes are wet. Sofia, the judge says. Why were you parked there? That area is clearly marked. No parking between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. Sofia takes a breath. It's shaky. My mom has cancer, sir. Lung cancer. Stage 4. She's been at Rhode Island Hospital for 8 weeks. I visit her every day after school. The room gets quieter somehow. Even though no one was talking, the silence gets heavier. Every day. Judge Caprio asks. Every single day, sir. I take 2 buses from our apartment. It takes 45 minutes. I get there around 4 p.m. I stay until 7 p.m. Then I take 2 buses home. And the parking tickets. Sofia looks confused. Sir, I don't have a car. I'm 14. Now Judge Caprio is confused too. Then how did you get parking tickets? I was waiting, sir. Outside the main entrance. There's a bench there. I sit on it while I wait for visiting hours to start. They don't let kids in until 4:30. So I get there at 4 and wait on the bench. The tickets say I was loitering in a no-parking zone. But I wasn't parking. I was just sitting. The prosecutor flips through his papers. His face changes. Your Honor, it appears there was a misunderstanding. The tickets were issued by parking enforcement. They're actually for loitering, not parking violations. The girl was sitting on a bench in a loading zone. Judge Caprio's jaw tightens. So let me understand this. A 14-year-old girl is visiting her dying mother in the hospital. She arrives early because she takes 2 buses. She sits on a bench and waits. And someone gave her a ticket for that. 3 tickets, sir, the prosecutor says quietly. 3 tickets, Judge Caprio repeats. His voice has an edge now. And how much do these tickets cost? $75 each, plus a $25 processing fee on each one. Who issued these tickets? The prosecutor checks his file. Officer Daniels from Parking Enforcement. Is Officer Daniels here today? A man in the back row stands. He's wearing a light blue uniform. His face is red. He looks uncomfortable. Here, Your Honor. Officer Daniels, please approach. The officer walks to the front. He stands next to Sofia. He's maybe 50 years old. Thick build. Balding. He won't look at the girl. Judge Caprio stares at him. Officer, did you issue these tickets? Yes, Your Honor. The bench she was sitting on is in a no parking zone. It's meant for ambulances and emergency vehicles. There are signs posted. No loitering between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. Did you ask her why she was there? The officer shifts his weight. I observed the violation and issued the citation. That's my job, Your Honor. That's not what I asked. Did you speak to her? Did you ask this child why she was sitting on a bench outside a hospital? The first time, yes. She said she was waiting for visiting hours. I explained it was a no parking zone. I gave her a warning. And then I saw her there again a week later. Same spot, same time. I issued a citation. And the third time, 2 weeks after that, same situation, another citation. Judge Caprio leans forward. His voice is calm but firm. Officer Daniels, let me understand your logic here. You saw a child, alone, outside a hospital, sitting quietly on a bench, and your response was to fine her $75. Sir, the zone is clearly marked. It's for emergency vehicles. If someone parks there or blocks the area, it could delay an ambulance. That could cost lives. Was she blocking anything? The officer hesitates. No, sir. She was sitting on the bench. Was the bench in the no parking zone? Yes, sir. Technically. Technically, Judge Caprio repeats. Officer, do you have children? The officer's face gets redder. Yes, sir. 2 daughters. How old? 12 and 16. If one of your daughters was visiting a dying relative in a hospital and she was sitting on a bench waiting, how would you want her to be treated? The officer doesn't answer. He looks at his shoes. Judge Caprio turns to Sofia. Sofia, tell me about your mother. Sofia's eyes fill with tears. She wipes them quickly with her sleeve. Her name is Maria. Maria Ramirez. She's 42. She worked as a housekeeper at the Marriott downtown for 17 years. She started coughing last year. Really bad coughing. She thought it was just a cold, but it didn't go away. Go on. She finally went to the doctor in January. They did tests. They found cancer. In both lungs. It had spread. Stage 4, they said. That means it's really bad. Sofia's voice cracks. She takes a moment. People in the courtroom are crying now. A woman in the third row dabs her eyes with a tissue. They started treatment right away. Chemotherapy. Radiation. It made her so sick. She lost all her hair. She lost 40 pounds. She's so weak now. She can barely sit up. Is she in pain? Sofia nods. Tears stream down her face now. She doesn't try to hide them. All the time, sir. They give her medicine. But she still hurts. She tries to smile when I come. She tries to pretend she's okay. But I know she's not. Judge Caprio's own eyes are wet. He takes off his glasses. He wipes them. Do you have any other family? Brothers? Sisters? I have a little brother. Mateo. He's 7. He stays with our neighbor Mrs. Chun after school. I pick him up when I get home at 8:30. And your father? Sofia's face hardens. He left when Mateo was born. We haven't seen him since. It's just been me and Mom and Mateo. Who's taking care of you now? I take care of us, sir. Me and Mateo. Mrs. Chun helps. She makes sure Mateo eats dinner. But I do everything else. I make breakfast. I pack our lunches. I do laundry. I pay the bills. She pauses. Well, I try to pay the bills. Sometimes there's not enough money. What about your mother's medical insurance? She has some, from her job, but it doesn't cover everything. The bills keep coming. They're huge, sir. Like $20,000 huge. I don't know how we're going to pay them. Judge Caprio looks at the prosecutor. And on top of all this, we're charging her $275 for sitting on a bench. The prosecutor closes his file. Your Honor, I move to dismiss all charges. But Judge Caprio raises his hand. Not yet. I want to hear more. Sofia, you visit your mother every day. Yes, sir. Every single day. No matter what. Rain, snow, doesn't matter. I have to see her. I have to let her know we're okay. That's what she worries about most. She worries about me and Mateo. What do you talk about? Sofia smiles a little. It's sad but real. Everything. I tell her about school. About Mateo's homework. about funny things that happened. I read to her sometimes. She likes that. Her favorite book is Pride and Prejudice. We're on chapter 32. Does she know about these tickets? Sofia shakes her head fast. No, sir. I didn't tell her. She has enough to worry about. I didn't want to add this. How were you planning to pay them? I've been saving, sir. I have a job. Well, kind of. I babysit for 3 families in our building. I make about $60 a week. I was going to use that. It would have taken me 5 weeks. But I would have paid it. Judge Caprio is quiet for a moment. He looks at the papers in front of him. Then he looks at Sofia. Really looks at her. This tiny girl with a faded hoodie and worn-out jeans. This child carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders. Sofia, how's your schoolwork? I'm doing okay, sir. Mostly as in BS. I missed some days when Mom first got sick. But my teachers have been really nice. They let me make up the work. What's your favorite subject? English, sir. I like to read. And write. I write stories sometimes. It helps me think about something other than everything else. What do you want to be when you grow up? Sofia's eyes light up a little. A doctor, sir. I want to help people like the doctors who are trying to help my mom. I know it's expensive. College and medical school. But I'm going to work hard. I'm going to find scholarships. I'm going to do it. The courtroom is silent. Everyone is staring at this brave little girl. This child who's been through more in 14 years than most people experience in a lifetime. Judge Caprio stands up. He walks down from the bench. This almost never happens. Judges don't leave the bench during proceedings. But Judge Caprio walks right up to Sofia. He's standing in front of her now. Sofia, look at me. She looks up. Her eyes are red from crying. You are one of the bravest people I have ever met. Do you understand that? She shakes her head. I'm just doing what I have to do, sir. No, you're doing more than that. Much more. Most adults couldn't handle what you're handling. You're taking care of your brother. You're keeping your grades up. You're working. You're visiting your mother every single day. And through all of this, you're still planning for your future. You're still dreaming about becoming a doctor. I have to, sir. Mom always said dreams are what keep us going. Judge Caprio puts his hand on her shoulder. Your mother is right, and she raised an incredible daughter. You know that. Sofia starts crying harder. I'm trying, sir. I'm really trying. But it's so hard. Everything is so hard. I know it is, sweetheart. I know. Judge Caprio walks back to the bench. He sits down. He puts his glasses back on. He looks at the papers. Then he looks at Officer Daniels. Officer, I need to say something to you. And I need you to listen carefully. Yes, Your Honor. You failed. Do you understand that? You failed in your duty. The officer's face goes pale. Sir, your job isn't just to enforce rules. Your job is to serve the public. To protect people. To help people. You saw a child in distress. A child who was clearly going through something difficult. And instead of asking if she needed help, instead of showing compassion, you gave her a ticket. Sir, I was following protocol. Protocol. Judge Caprio's voice rises. Not loud, but sharp. Officer Daniels, let me tell you something about protocol. Protocol is important. Rules are important. But they're not more important than humanity. They're not more important than compassion. They're not more important than common sense. The officer doesn't respond. His face is bright red now. You gave this child 3 tickets. 3. After the first one, did you check on her? Did you ask if she was okay? Did you wonder why a 14-year-old was sitting alone outside a hospital day after day? I know, sir. No, you didn't. Because you were more concerned with the rule than with the person. You were more concerned with your quota than with your conscience. Judge Caprio points at Sofia. This girl has been through hell. Her mother is dying. She's taking care of a 7-year-old. She's working. She's going to school. She's doing everything right. Everything. And you added to her burden. You made her life harder. For what? For sitting on a bench. The courtroom erupts. Not with noise. With feeling. You can feel the anger in the room. The frustration. People are nodding. Some are crying. A man in the back says, "That's right, Judge." Officer Daniels, I want you to think about something. What if that was your daughter? Your 12-year-old or your 16-year-old? What if your wife was dying? What if your daughter was trying to be strong and brave and handle everything? And some officer came along and made it worse? How would you feel? The officer's voice is barely audible. I'd be angry, sir. You'd be angry. Yes, you would. And you'd be right to be angry, because that officer would have failed his duty, just like you failed yours. Judge Caprio picks up his gavel, but he doesn't use it yet. I'm dismissing these tickets. All 3 of them. Immediately. Sofia Ramirez owes the city of Providence nothing. $0. Do you understand? The prosecutor nods. Yes, Your Honor. Furthermore, I want every ticket issued by Officer Daniels in the past 6 months reviewed. I want to know if there are other cases like this. Other people who were treated without compassion. Other situations where the rule was followed but the spirit was ignored. Yes, Your Honor. I'll get that started today. Judge Caprio turns to Sofia. His voice is soft again. Sofia, you're free to go. You owe nothing. Sofia's legs almost give out. She grabs the table to steady herself. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Wait. I'm not finished. Sofia stops. Judge Caprio opens a drawer in his desk. He pulls out his personal checkbook. The bailiff's eyes go wide. The prosecutor looks confused. This is highly unusual. Judges don't give money to defendants. But Judge Caprio writes a check. He tears it out. He walks down from the bench again. He hands it to Sofia. This is $5,000. Sofia stares at the check. Her hands are shaking, so hard she almost drops it. Sir, I can't. This is too much. It's not enough, but it's what I can do today. I want you to use this for your mother's medical bills. Whatever she needs. Okay. Sir, I don't know what to say. Say you'll keep being brave. Say you'll keep taking care of your brother. Say you'll keep dreaming about becoming a doctor. Can you say that? Sofia is sobbing now. Full-on sobbing. Yes, sir. I promise. I promise all of that. Judge Caprio hugs her. Right there in the courtroom. A judge hugging a defendant. It's unorthodox. It's unprofessional by the book. But it's human. It's real. The courtroom explodes in applause. People stand up. They're clapping. They're cheering. Some are crying. The bailiff is wiping his eyes. The court reporter has stopped typing. She's just watching. Even the prosecutor is clapping. When the noise dies down, Judge Caprio has one more thing to say. He's back at the bench now. Sofia is still standing there, clutching the check like it's the most precious thing in the world. Everyone in this room, listen to me. We just saw something important. We saw what happens when we focus on rules instead of people. Officer Daniels isn't a bad man. I don't believe that. But he made a bad choice. He chose the rule over the person. And that's wrong. He looks around the room, making eye contact with as many people as he can. Our job in life, all of us, is to help each other, to lift each other up, to make things better, not worse. When we see someone struggling, we don't add to their burden. We help carry it. He points at Sofia. This girl is 14 years old, and she's teaching all of us a lesson about strength, about love, about dedication. She doesn't complain. She doesn't give up. She just keeps going. She keeps loving her mother. She keeps taking care of her brother. She keeps dreaming. His voice gets stronger, more passionate. That's what we should all be doing. Not writing tickets. Not following rules blindly. Not making life harder for people who are already struggling. We should be asking, how can I help? What can I do? How can I make this better? He pauses. The room is hanging on every word. Sofia came in here scared, worried about $275 that she didn't have. Money that would have taken her 5 weeks of work to earn. 5 weeks of babysitting after already spending 3 hours on buses every day to visit her dying mother. Think about that. Really think about it. People in the courtroom are nodding. Some are crying again. She came in here alone because she didn't want to worry her mother. She carried this burden by herself, like she carries everything by herself, because that's what she's had to do. Life hasn't given her a choice. Judge Caprio's voice gets quiet, but it carries through the room. But we have a choice. All of us. We can make life harder or easier for people like Sofia. We can add to their problems or solve them. We can follow rules blindly or use our judgment. We can be human. He looks at Officer Daniels. Officer, I'm not punishing you today, but I am challenging you. I challenge you to do better, to be better, to remember that behind every ticket, every violation, every case, there's a person, a human being with story, with struggles, with pain, with hopes. Don't forget that again. I won't, Your Honor. I promise. Good. Now, I want you to do something for me. I want you to go to Rhode Island Hospital. I want you to find Sofia Ramirez. And I want you to apologize to her daughter. Face to face. Can you do that? The officer nods. Yes, sir. Today. I'll go today. Thank you. Court is adjourned. Judge Caprio bangs his gavel. But no one moves. No one wants to leave. They want to stay in this moment. This moment of justice. Of compassion. Of humanity winning. Sofia walks toward the door. People reach out to touch her shoulder. To whisper encouragement. An elderly woman hands her a tissue. A man slips a $20 bill into her pocket. For you and your brother, he whispers. Get some ice cream. The bailiff stops her at the door. Miss Ramirez, wait. He hands her a card. This is my wife's number. She's a nurse at Rhode Island Hospital. She works in oncology. That's where your mom is, right? Sofia nods. Call her. Tell her I sent you. She can help. With anything you need. Sofia takes the card. Thank you. Thank you so much. As she leaves, the courtroom slowly empties. People file out, talking in quiet voices. The prosecutor approaches the bench. Your Honor, that was something special. Judge Caprio is writing notes. It's what should happen every day. We should look at the people, not just the papers. The $5,000, sir. That was generous. It wasn't enough, but I hope it helps. The prosecutor leaves. The bailiff leaves. The court reporter leaves. Judge Caprio sits alone in his courtroom. He thinks about Sofia, about her mother, about all the people who come through his court every day. Each one with story, each one with struggles he'll never fully understand. He thinks about the system, about how it's supposed to work, and about how it often doesn't, about how rules can help or hurt depending on how they're applied, about how compassion should always be part of justice. 3 weeks pass. It's a Tuesday morning. Judge Caprio is reviewing his cases for the day. The bailiff comes in. Judge, someone's here to see you. She doesn't have an appointment, but she says it's important. Who is it? Sofia Ramirez. And her brother. Judge Caprio stands up. Send them in. Please. Sofia walks in. She looks different. She's wearing a nicer jacket. Not new, but cleaner. Her face looks lighter somehow. Less heavy. Next to her is a little boy. He has the same dark hair, the same brown eyes. He's holding Sofia's hand tight. Sofia, how are you? I'm okay, Judge. This is my brother, Mateo. The little boy waves shyly. Hello, Mateo. It's nice to meet you. Hi, Mateo says quietly. What brings you here today? Sofia reaches into her backpack. She pulls out an envelope. I wanted to give you this. And to say thank you. In person. Properly. Judge Caprio opens the envelope. Inside is a card. On the front is a drawing. It's Sofia, Mateo, and their mother. They're holding hands. The mother is smiling. She has hair in the drawing. She looks healthy. Happy. Inside the card, in careful handwriting, it says, Dear Judge Caprio, thank you for believing in me. Thank you for helping my family. Because of you, we paid 2 months of Mom's hospital bills. The hospital said we could set up a payment plan for the rest. They were really nice about it. Mom cried when I told her what you did. Happy tears. She said you're an angel. I think she's right. I promise I'll keep working hard. I promise I'll become a doctor. And when I do, I'm going to help people the way you helped us. With kindness. With compassion. With love. Thank you for showing me what justice really means. Love, Sofia and Mateo. Judge Caprio's eyes are wet. He closes the card carefully. Thank you for this. It means more than you know. How's your mother? Sofia's smile fades a little. She's not better. The doctors say she might have a few months. Maybe 6 if we're lucky. But she's comfortable. She's not in as much pain. And she's happy. She knows that me and Mateo are going to be okay. You're very brave, Sofia. I learned from my mom. She's the brave one. She's fighting so hard. She wants to see Mateo start 3rd grade. That's her goal. September. She wants to see him walk into school. I hope she makes it. Me too. Mateo tugs on Sofia's sleeve. Can I tell him? Sofia smiles. Go ahead. Mateo looks at Judge Caprio. His voice is small but clear. My sister is my hero. She takes care of me. She makes me pancakes. She helps me with my homework. She's the best sister in the whole world. Judge Caprio kneels down, so he's eye level with Mateo. You're right. She is pretty amazing. But you know what? I bet you're a great little brother too. I bet you help her out. Mateo nods seriously. I clean my room. And I don't complain when we have leftovers for dinner 3 days in a row. Everyone laughs. It's a good sound. Light. Real. That's very helpful, Mateo. Keep being good for your sister, okay? Okay. Sofia and Mateo turn to leave, but Judge Caprio stops them. Sofia, wait. I want to give you something else. Not money this time. Something different. He goes to his bookshelf. He pulls out a book. It's old. The cover is worn. This is my copy of Pride and Prejudice. The one my mother gave me when I was young. I want you to have it. For you and your mom. Sofia takes the book carefully, like it's made of glass. Sir, this is yours. I can't take it. Yes, you can. Read it to your mother. Finish the story together. And when you're done, put on your shelf. And every time you see it, remember that people care about you. That people believe in you. That you're not alone. Sofia hugs the book to her chest. I'll treasure it. Forever. I know you will. They leave. Judge Caprio watches them go. The tall teenage girl and the small little boy. Holding hands. Walking together. Facing the world. 5 months pass. It's early September. School is starting. Judge Caprio gets a call at home. It's late. Almost 10 p.m. Hello. Judge Caprio? This is Sofia Ramirez. His heart drops. Sofia. Is everything okay? There's crying on the other end. But not sad crying. Different. She made it, Judge. She made it. Mom saw Mateo start 3rd grade today. She was there. We pushed her wheelchair to the school. She was so weak. But she was smiling. She got to see him walk in. She held my hand and said, "We did, Mija. We did it." Judge Caprio is crying now too. That's wonderful, Sofia. That's so wonderful. She's really tired now. The doctors say it's close. Maybe a few days. But she made her goal. She saw Mateo start school. She's so happy. Your mother is lucky to have you, Sofia. I'm lucky to have her. Yes, you are. Enjoy every moment you have left together. Tell her I'm thinking of her. Tell her she did an amazing job raising you and Mateo. I will. Thank you, Judge, for everything. I'll never forget what you did for us. 2 days later, Maria Ramirez passes away peacefully. Sofia and Mateo are by her side. She's holding their hands. Her last words are, "I love you both. You're going to be amazing." The funeral is small. Just a few neighbors. Mrs. Chun, some of Maria's co-workers from the Marriott, and one unexpected guest. Judge Frank Caprio. He sits in the back. He doesn't want to intrude, but he wants to be there, to show support, to show respect. After the service, Sofia sees him. She walks over. She's wearing a black dress. Her eyes are red, but she's standing tall, strong. You came. Of course I came. I wanted to pay my respects to your mother, and to support you. That means a lot. How are you doing? Sofia takes a breath. I'm sad. Really sad. I miss her so much already. But I'm also grateful. I got to say goodbye. I got to tell her I love her. I got to thank her for everything. Not everyone gets that. That's true. That's very true. And Judge, I finished Pride and Prejudice with her. The last chapter. 2 days before she died. She was so tired she could barely keep her eyes open. But she listened to every word. When I finished, she said it was perfect. The perfect ending. Judge Caprio can't speak. He just nods. I'm going to keep going, Judge. I'm going to take care of Mateo. Mrs. Chun is helping. She's going to be our guardian until I turn 18. The school is helping too. They connected me with scholarships, with resources. I'm going to make it. I'm going to become a doctor. For my mom. And for all the people like my mom. I know you will, Sofia. I know you will. 1 year later, Judge Caprio receives an envelope in mail. The return address is Sofia Ramirez. He opens it carefully. Inside is a report card, straight as every single class. At the bottom, Sofia has written, starting sophomore year. Still dreaming. Still fighting. Still grateful. Sofia. Also in the envelope is a picture. It's Sofia and Mateo. They're standing in front of Rhode Island Hospital. Sofia is wearing a volunteer badge. Underneath, she's written, started volunteering in the oncology unit. Learning. Helping. Honoring mom. Judge Caprio puts the picture on his desk, right where he can see it every day. 2 years pass. Sofia is 16 now. She's a junior in high school. She's applied for every scholarship she can find. She's working 3 jobs: babysitting, tutoring, and volunteering at the hospital. Mateo is doing great in school. He's in 4th grade. He's on the soccer team. They're making it work. One day, Sofia gets a call. It's from a number she doesn't recognize. Hello. Is this Sofia Ramirez? Yes. This is Dr. Patricia Chun from Brown University. We received your scholarship application. I wanted to call personally. Sofia's heart races. Brown University, one of the best schools in the country. She applied for their early admission program, but she never thought she'd actually get in. We'd like to offer you a full scholarship, full tuition, full room and board, for all 4 years, and we'd like to put you on the pre-med track. Sofia drops the phone. She picks it up. Her hands are shaking. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? Dr. Chun laughs. You heard me right. Full scholarship. For years. Pre-med. But how? Why? Your application was exceptional. Your grades. Your essay. Your volunteer work. Your story. But there's something else. A letter of recommendation. From Judge Frank Caprio. It's the most moving letter I've read in 20 years of admissions work. He believes in you completely. And so do we. Sofia is crying. Happy tears. Thank you. Thank you so much. I won't let you down. I know you won't. Welcome to Brown, Sofia. Sofia hangs up. She screams. She jumps. She cries. She calls Mrs. Chun. She calls Mateo's school. She needs to tell someone. Everyone. That night, she writes a letter. To Judge Caprio. Dear Judge, you changed my life. 2 years ago, I walked into your courtroom scared and alone. I walked out with hope, with help, with belief. You saw me, really saw me, not as a case number, not as a problem, but as a person, as a daughter trying to honor her mother, as a sister trying to protect her brother, as a girl trying to dream. Today I got into Brown University, full scholarship, pre-med. I'm going to be a doctor. I'm really going to do it. And it's because of you, because you showed me that people care. That justice can be kind. That one person can make a difference. I promise you, Judge Caprio, I'm going to pass it on. Every patient I treat, I'm going to see them the way you saw me. With compassion, with respect, with humanity. Thank you for saving my life. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for being you. Love always, Dr. Sofia Ramirez, future doctor. Judge Caprio receives the letter 3 days later. He reads it twice. Then he puts it in a frame. He hangs it in his chambers, right next to the picture of Sofia and Mateo. On it, he writes, "This is why we do what we do. This is what justice looks like. This is proof that one moment of compassion can change everything." The story spreads. Local news picks it up. Then national news. The video from the courtroom that day goes viral. Millions of people watch it. Millions share it. The comments pour in. This is what a judge should be. I'm crying. This is beautiful. Judge Caprio for president. This restored my faith in humanity. But Judge Caprio doesn't do it for the attention. He does it because it's right. Because Sofia deserved help. Because everyone deserves to be seen, to be heard, to be treated with dignity. For years later, Sofia Ramirez graduates from Brown University. Summa cum laude. Top of her class. She's been accepted to 5 medical schools. She chooses Brown's medical school. Full scholarship again. Because they believe in her. Because she's proven herself. On graduation day, she wears her cap and gown. She walks across the stage. When they call her name, the crowd erupts. Because her story is known. Because people have followed her journey. Because she represents hope. In the audience, crying and cheering, are Mateo and Mrs. Chun. And in the back row, one more person. Judge Frank Caprio. He's 82 years old now. He's retired. But he wouldn't miss this for the world. After the ceremony, Sofia finds him. You came. I had to. I needed to see this. The girl who came into my courtroom at 14. Now a college graduate. Soon to be a doctor. I couldn't have done it without you. Yes, you could have. You would have found a way. You're unstoppable, Sofia. You always were. They hug. The cameras flash. The moment is captured. An old judge and a young graduate. Connected by one moment of compassion 6 years ago. That moment changed Sofia's life. But it changed Judge Caprio's too. It reminded him why he became a judge, why he sits on that bench every day. Not to punish, not to enforce rules blindly, but to help, to lift up, to make things better. Sofia goes on to medical school. For years later, she becomes Dr. Sofia Ramirez, oncologist, cancer doctor, just like the ones who treated her mother. She works at Rhode Island Hospital, the same hospital where she sat on that bench, where she got those tickets, where everything changed. Her first day, she walks past the bench. It's still there, in the loading zone. A small plaque has been added. It reads, "In memory of Maria Ramirez, and in honor of her daughter Sofia. May we all show compassion to those who sit here waiting." Dr. Ramirez treats every patient like their family. She sits with them. She listens. She doesn't rush. She remembers what Judge Caprio taught her, that people aren't cases. They're humans, with stories, with struggles, with dreams. When her patients can't pay, she finds resources. She calls charities. She sets up payment plans. She fights with insurance companies. She makes sure no one is alone in their battle, just like she wasn't alone in hers. Mateo grows up too. He becomes a teacher. 3rd grade, the grade his mother fought to see him start. He teaches in the same neighborhood where they grew up, where kids face struggles like he and Sofia faced. He's kind. He's patient. He sees his students. Really sees them. Every year on September 1st, Sofia and Mateo visit their mother's grave. They bring flowers. They tell her about their lives, about their successes, about how they're making her proud. And they talk about Judge Caprio, about how one man's kindness rippled through their lives, how it changed their trajectory, how it made everything possible. Judge Caprio, now in his late 80s, still follows Sofia's career. He reads articles about her work, about the free clinic she started, about the patients she's saved, about the difference she's making. And he knows that the $5,000 he gave her was the best investment he ever made. Not because of the money, but because of the message. You matter. You're seen. You're not alone. That's what Sofia gives to every patient now. That same message, that same compassion, that same humanity. The legal system saw a case number, a parking ticket, a $275 fine. Judge Caprio saw a girl, a brave, strong, struggling girl who needed help, who deserved help. And because he saw her, she thrived. She soared. She became everything she dreamed of. And she's helping others do the same. That's justice. Real justice. Not blind enforcement of rules, but thoughtful application of wisdom. Not punishment for punishment's sake, but correction with compassion. Not seeing cases, but seeing people. Sofia's story reminds us all that behind every ticket, every violation, every person standing in front of a judge, there's a story. A human story, full of complexity, and pain, and hope, and dreams. Our job isn't to make those stories harder. It's to make them better. To help write better endings. To be the difference. Judge Frank Caprio did that for Sofia Ramirez. And Sofia Ramirez is now doing that for hundreds of patients. And those patients will do it for others. And on and on and on. That's how change happens. Not through big dramatic actions, but through small moments of compassion. Through seeing people, through choosing humanity over rules. Sofia entered that courtroom at 14 years old, scared, alone, carrying impossible weight. She could have been crushed. Another statistic. Another struggling kid who fell through the cracks. But Judge Caprio caught her. He lifted her up. He showed her that the world isn't all hard. That some people care. That justice can be kind. And now Dr. Sofia Ramirez spends every day catching others, lifting them up, showing them the same compassion she was shown. She keeps the $5,000 check in her office, framed, never cashed. Above it, a quote, "Be the judge you want to appear before. Be the doctor you want to treat you. Be the person you want to meet when you're struggling. Be kind." Every patient who sits in her office sees that check, sees that quote, and they know they're in good hands. They know they're not just a case. They're a person. They're seen. That's Judge Caprio's real legacy. Not the thousands of cases he decided. Not the viral videos. Not the fame. But the ripple effect of compassion. The lives changed because one man chose to look deeper. To care more. To help instead of hurt. Sofia's mother, Maria, is gone. But her legacy lives on. In Sofia. In Mateo. In every life they touch. And in Judge Caprio's decision that day. The decision to see a girl, not a case. A daughter, not a defendant. A dreamer, not a problem. Money can buy many things, but it cannot buy back time. It cannot undo harm. It cannot purchase respect. And in Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom, it definitely cannot buy justice. Justice isn't about rules. It's about people. It's about compassion. It's about seeing the whole story, not just the facts on paper. It's about asking what helps, not what hurts. It's about lifting up, not tearing down. That's the lesson Sofia learned at 14. That's the lesson she carries at 28. That's the lesson she'll pass on for the rest of her life. And all started with one judge who decided to listen, to care, to help. One judge who changed everything.